moving to our user detail view, again, to get the user that ordered our drinks, what we need is to first access the order, because each order has a ID of the customer that ordered. So we can use this ID in order to get to our Firebase and download the user object from our Firebase. So let's pass a variable called order, which is type of order. And this will complain that we need to provide our order here, and I'm going to just provide a dummy order. And then if I go back to my order detail view, it will complain here as well that we need to provide it here. So user detail view, and I'm going to pass my order, and here we can pass the order that we have received. I'm going to just say order there. Command P, make sure everything is working before we go to our new view, which does, and let's close our left panel there. So apart from my order, I need to have a variable of the user object that we actually need to download. So let's leave the variable for now. What we want to do is to create a list, and my list is going to have one section, and each section is going to have 4 rows. So it's going to be the name, email, phone number, and address of my user. So I'm going to say text, and let's just say for now name, text. Let's just copy this and paste it 4 times. Would say email, phone number, and address. And let me just delete this hello world here. Let me put end of section, and here end of list. So after our list, I can set my styling. So we want this to be dot list style, and I want a grouped list style, and also I want to set my navigation bar title. So I say dot navigation bar title, and the title is going to be user profile. So let's run and see if this is showing what we want to see. So I go to my order, then I go to my username, and we have name, email, phone, address. Now what we need to do is to be able to grab the order customer ID and download a fuser object that we can use to display the information here. And to do this, we are going to use another listener, and this one I'm going to call user listener. Command N, Swift file, this user listener, hit enter. This user listener is not going to be really like a listener that we have in our order listener, but because we don't want to keep listening for the changes in the user, rather we want to go and take this user once, and then we will have all the information, and every time we want to do it, we will go and just take it. But for our orders, we want to have our application, let's say, running, and any update to our orders, we want to be able to get them straight away. So going to our user listener, I'm going to import Firebase, and then I'm going to just create one function, and this is going to be called download user, and we want to pass our user ID, which is string, And also this is going to have a completion handler because we want to be notified when this user is downloaded. And this is going to return a user object, which is type of f user, and this may be an optional, and this doesn't return anything, so we say it's void. Right, so we have our download user function. Let's access our Firebase reference, and we need to access our user section because this is what we want to get. Then I want to get the user where ID is equals to the ID I just passed. So I will say where field, and we have string is equal to any, and our ID is KID. So we check if this field is equals to user ID, and if it's good, then we say get documents and just hit enter, call this snapshot or anything you want, and the other one is error. Okay, let's just check guard let snapshot equals snapshot, else I will say return, and then we're going to check if not empty our snapshot dot is empty, and this is not empty. What we want to do is to get, because this is, we are checking ID equals to our user ID, and we are going to have only one user with that ID because our IDs are unique. I can say let user data is equals to snapshot dot documents, and this is an array of query document snapshot, and then I want to get the first object because we can have only one match with that ID, and I want to get the data, which is the key value pairs. And once we have our user data, remember that our fuser function has an initializer with a dictionary. So if I go here, you can see that we have init with dictionary, which creates a user object. So I can say completion, and I'm calling my completion, and I'm going to pass my user, which is fuser, and I'm going to initialize it with a dictionary, and dictionary is going to be user data as ns dictionary. Otherwise, if our snapshot is empty, I'm going to say else, and I'm going to pass my completion, and instead of a user, I'm going to pass a nil because there is no user to return in case if you don't have a snapshot. So this function is going to go to our Firebase, check if there is a user with specific ID, and once it downloads in the background, we will call our completion handler, convert the key value pairs into a user object, and return it to our caller.